It's only preseason, but I'm hyped. Neil Thought, Jimmy G buckets gets buckets. Oh my goodness! Give me the hot sauce, Neil Thought. Give me the hot sauce.
We are rolling episode 91 of Gimme the Hot Sauce. Stacey King, Tim Kelley alongside, and we have a special guest coming up. Chicago native Tim Hardaway Sr., who is going to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame next month in Springfield, Massachusetts. So we'll ask him what he's going to say to the audience there, how he's doing on his speech, talk about some of the playoff battles he had against Michael Jordan and company, and his great career throughout the NBA. Of course, he was part of that Run TMC group, which captured a lot of people's imagination.
And you know what? No one really talks about them. You know, that was like arguably the first big three. Those are three Hall of Fame players now. You look back on that team, Mitch, Richmond, Chris Mullin, and then Tim Hardaway. It's funny because I was talking to Tim about that. I was like, how did y'all not come out of the West?
Yeah.
You know, and I said, maybe it was coaching. Because
it was Don Nelson, right?
It was Don Nelson.
Yeah.
And you know, you have that talent. Three guys that could get buckets, that could score at will. I mean, you're talking, you know, those guys could score 80 points easily between them. So it had to be coaching.
Yeah, Don Nelson was the winningest coach until Greg Popovich just recently passed him by, but Nelly never won a championship in all his stops.
No, and he had all these gimmicks. You know, I mean, Don Nelson was a
Minute
good coach.
Bowl shooting threes.
Yeah. He might have been the guy who invented the big man shooting threes, to be honest with you. I don't think he gets credit for it, but Don Nelson was an innovator. But you know, in the playoffs, teams can defend that. They can change things up, mix things up. What works in the regular season, Mark, you've seen over the last 50 years, does not work in the playoffs. You have to make adjustments.
So we're coming at you from the Sriracha Studios here in beautiful Palatine, Illinois. And Tim Kelley's done with business for the day. You can see he's got a nice cold beer in front of him. He's ready to roll.
It's what you need, especially at the end of the day.
You know, he was just looking like he's ready to say something.
Yeah.
He just got all. Look at him. Look at his little face. Look, America. Look at his face.
You don't want to know what's going on up there.
It's like the Three Stooges. Remember the Three Stooges that used to have? They did an X-ray of their head, and there was like a bird flying around the bird cage.
That'd be Whispers.
Yeah, that's Whispers.
Just a box of crayons.
He's been out in the sun too a little bit. Got that Larry Lobster look on.
Windburn, sunburn. It's all mixed in.
Yeah, look at him. That's Larry the Lobster, America.
Hey, if it's not hot enough here in the Chicago area, a lot of the Chicago Bulls now are in Los Angeles, Southern California, gathering together. DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine are all headquartered out there, and most of the team is out there. And we've seen some video on social media with those guys playing 5-on-5. And Stacey, as you know, that's a great way to build chemistry working together in the summer.
Well, you know what? When I see those guys doing that, that's something that we did after we lost to the Detroit Pistons in the 1990 playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. After that game, before that, everybody was doing their own thing. 2 guys over here, 3 guys over here, workout over here. It wasn't a group. But after that playoff series, we all decided that, hey, we need to have a little bit more cohesion. And so we did, and we practiced together, we played together, we ate together, and that really built a bond with that team. And then that was able to carry us through the rest of the 90s, and the rest is history. So I'm glad to see that, because this was the same team last year that was brand new. They had so many different players, and they gelled from the very first game of preseason. And a lot of that has to do with the guys who have great basketball IQ. Lonzo, Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, those guys know how to play as veteran players. They know how to get everybody involved. And you could just tell that as soon as they came out the gate last year, they were really, really tight, and they're going to even be tighter this year.
Of course, we are live on Twitch as usual, and I'm seeing on the Twitch chat that we need to turn Stacey's audio up.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
We want to make sure that we're coming at you loud and clear, that everybody can hear us okay, because we can adjust that. We got a great crew here. They'll make sure that the podcast.
We're not going to throw anybody under the bus.
No. We're not going to mention any names.
We're not going to mention any names.
No, we'll just give you an initial D.
Dangerous D. Who said that? Who said Dangerous D? Boy, y'all are some dirty dudes, man. D, I love you, boy. Don't listen to these guys.
Well, the feedback now is you sound great, Stacey.
Thank
you. Now we're rolling.
I look good. I smell good. That's what James Brown. You ever seen James Brown, the commercial with James Brown?
Yeah.
They did an interview with James Brown, and they said, the lady asked him a question. He said, yeah, you're talented and you're just so good. He goes, yeah, I look good. And I smell good, ladies. And I make love good. I was like, oh, James Brown, you freak.
And, of course, the classic Eddie Murphy sketches on Saturday Night Live doing James Brown.
Hot tub. Hot tub.
Hey, you know, we saw in those reports that 11 of the 15 players that are currently on the Bulls roster are out in L.A. doing workouts, and I think that's just fantastic. And Stacey, you said that Billy Donovan's out there, some front office reps are out there.
Yes.
Is that okay? Is that all right with the NBA for the coaches to be watching?
You know what?
this
I don't
stuff?
know the rules. I don't know the rules, Mark, but I know. You know, I think most of the guys are going out there to make sure Lonzo is doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. Make sure that the health check is there. All these guys meet in L.A. You know, is really kind of like DeMar. You know, DeMar's been out there. He's had Patrick Williams out there. He's had a couple other guys out there. And to have all those guys out there at the same time playing and not playing with other guys, you know, from other teams. They're playing with their guys. And, you know, that's got to be a bonus coming into training camp, which is not too far away now. So it's great to see that.
And the little bit of video we did see on social media, it looks like Alex Caruso was, again, the ringleader on both ends of the court. I mean, here's a guy that is not listed among the great players in the NBA, but he's so important to a franchise, and I think that he's going to help set the tone that guys are going to come, they're going to work, they're going to be serious during these sessions.
Well, I mean, this is a guy who's a leader. You know, I mean, he was a leader last year. And so, you know, when people draft guys now, they're going to look for guys like Caruso. You know, who's the next Caruso? Who's the guy that is a game changer that can come in and change your team defensively? And, you know, who's a leader? And it's great to see a kid like that who loves to play. My thing with Alex is he's got to stay healthy because he's a floor burn. I mean, I call him Crash Bandicoot, but he's always on the floor. Always on the floor. He's diving on the floor. You know, that hard foul that Grayson Allen did last year, there's nothing he could have done about that. But we've got to keep him healthy. If he's on the floor and Lonzo's on the floor, that really gives the Bulls a really good chance to win a lot of basketball games and go deep into the playoffs.
Got a question on the Twitch chat from Mugen A12 was wondering, what's Stacey drinking? What did you put in front of him, Tim?
It's an ice cold urine sample.
30 years of abuse, all America.
And you think he's kidding? That's the scary.
At least it was cold.
No, this is a cold sample. This might be whispers. That's why I'm not drinking it, America.
Yeah.
I don't
He's got
trust him.
full.
I want him to
Always
drink
be
it
careful
first.
when Whispers put something in front of
I
you.
told him to drink it first. I
I
said, why
always
don't you
say
drink
it's
it
better
first?
when it's cold.
Wow.
Don't let it get warm.
Listen, see, this is what I'm talking about, Mark. 30 years of abuse, good friend. He's going to give me a urine sample to drink.
Oh,
While you two
man.
get to drink nice, cool,
That is cold.
beer.
That is good beer. Too.
Look at him. Look at his beer. Look at mine.
Doesn't look the same, does it?
No, it doesn't look the same.
Strange.
Mine's a little lighter.
Yeah.
Look at this, America. Yeah.
There's no frothy head on that either.
Hey,
It's a cider.
I need my taster, my taste tester.
That's right.
Cisco.
We'll get one of the get Cisco out here.
I need
See if
Cisco
it's
to
all
taste.
right.
He's
Come
my
on,
little
Cisco, come on, taste
Come
it. See if
the
it's
beer.
all right.
See if it's beer or urine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta make sure Stacey's gonna
Got to make sure
keep
it could
him
be
safe.
assassination attempt.
the kid needs a taster.
Hey, remember it was like Mel Brooks. So remember
Oh, yeah.
Piss Boy, and the guy came with the bucket.
History of the world.
History of the world.
Yeah.
A great movie, America. Check it out if you have. Some of y'all might be too young for that movie, but it's a great movie.
Hey, we were talking about the Bulls working out in L.A., and we had Patrick Williams on the show last month, and he talked about his early morning workouts with DeMar DeRozan. If you talk about a young guy, Patrick Williams is going to turn 21 in a couple of weeks. That's the guy you want to learn from. I mean, he is the master of the mid-range, the king of the shot fake, and he's going to be able to teach a young Patrick Williams what he needs to do to be successful as an offensive player in the league.
This is going to be a breakout year for Patrick Williams. I'm telling you, America, listen to me, Bulls Nation. He is going to explode. This kid, last year at the end of the season, when he got the chance to start against Minnesota, when we set out our star guys, he had 30-plus points. And then he carried into the playoffs. That first game against Milwaukee, you could tell he was a little nervous. But after that, he was the Bulls' second-best player in the playoffs. He scored. He rebounded. What I want to see out of Patrick Williams this year is we know what kind of athlete he is. But it falls on the coaches this time. Because you can't say for him to go out and go get it. Everybody wants him to go get it, go get it, go get it. It's hard for him to go get it when you have DeMar DeRozan on one side, Zach on the other side, and you got Vooch. Those are three veteran players that he, in his mind, I have to give a little bit of leeway to those guys because they're veterans. And so you can see when he plays, he doesn't necessarily go all out offensively. This is where the coaching staff comes into play. This is where Billy Donovan says to him, you get that ball off the glass, you take it up the floor. He can run pick and rolls. They in that playoff game against Milwaukee, where they had success in game 2, was when they ran a pick and roll with him and Vooch. And then you put Giannis, had to switch to Vooch, and then you had whoever was guarding Patrick Williams went on Vooch, and Giannis went on. It was a total mismatch because he was ability to put the ball on the floor and attack and get to the rim or create for his teammates. They've got to really, really incorporate him in the offense this year if they really, really want to take that next level.
We're talking about some of the social media things we've seen from Los Angeles where the Bulls are working out. I also saw a photo of Vucevic and Goran Dragic having a nice beverage out at some Venice restaurant outside. And obviously Vooch knows Dragic, and I think he was instrumental in recruiting him here. The question a lot of Bulls fans have, Stacey, is how are you going to find playing time for all the guards on the roster?
Well, we had a lot of guards last year.
Yeah, we did.
We found it.
Billy likes a lot of guards out there.
Yeah, we got a lot of guards this year. And, listen, it's got to be, listen, I don't believe the Goran Dragic that he was promised 20-plus minutes. You just can't promise players minutes in this league because it's unpredictable. You don't know how the season's going to shake out. What if Io comes out there and is dominant in year 2? You're going to sit him down and say, well, let's hold him back. No, you can't do that. So you got to play the best players. And can Dragic help you? Yes, he can. He's a veteran guard. He can score. He can shoot threes. He's not the greatest defender that he, like he used to be because he's up there in age. But he can help you. I'm excited to see how Zach comes back, from that knee injury. I know last year at the second half of the season, he was playing on one leg. He didn't look like himself. I'm really anxious to see him come back and see what he does. And I want Zoe. Zoe is the key. Zoe is the straw that stirs the drink. If he's not healthy and he's not ready to go, can the Bulls win some? Can they win games? Yes. Can they still be a good team in the Eastern Conference? Yes. But Zoe gives you that ability to be great. He gives you that ability to get past the first round and beyond. They got to have him.
Yeah, when the Bulls were lethal, it was Ball and Caruso playing the passing lanes, getting steals, getting easy baskets in transition because, let's be honest, it's not easy to score in the NBA when a team has its half-court defense set. You need to get that 10, 15, 20 points in fast break points to make it easier on your offense.
Well, and also, too, Mark, he's a great three-point shooter. He was shooting 40-plus from the three-point line from the point guard position. He was really extending the defense out, so that enabled guys to drive to the basket because you can't leave Zoe like you used to when he was a rookie. You say, he's shooting 29, 30%, we can leave him. But he's gotten better each and every year he's been in the NBA. And now I think last year he topped out at almost 45% from the three-point line. So, and if Caruso can start making shots and really, really keep defenses honest, that's going to help the Bulls because you've got to have perimeter shooting because as we saw in that Milwaukee series, Milwaukee says, hey, you know what? We don't believe you can shoot threes. We don't believe you can make them. You can shoot them, but we don't believe you can make them. So we're not even going to guard you. And from the games 3, 4, and 5, they just basically turned their back and said, rebound and let's go.
They wouldn't leave you open in the rec league, right, Whispers?
No, it's never a good idea.
Yeah. Well, what do you say about Whispers' game?
It's terrible. Oh, wow. All right, I'm going to give you an honest assessment as a scout. All right. Okay, not Stacey, not his friend of 30 years, okay?
Of abuse.
Oh, no, okay.
Here comes
First
the
of
abuse.
all, no, there's no abuse. This is an honest assessment from a scout, okay?
I'm a professional analyst.
I'm a professional analyst. There you go, D. Way to throw
Nice
that
job.
in there. Okay, Whisper's game in a nutshell, okay? He can only go one way. He's like Manu Ginobili. He's left. He's left-handed. Okay? He's got no jump shot. His jumper is he's 6 and in, ladder.
6 and in, wow.
Just
like Whispers.
I'm Whispering. I'm not your buddy right now,
Where's
Whispers.
this coming from?
Whisper, but listen, his jersey. We hang up all the great players in our health club. The jerseys are up there, right? And right now, his is under discussion. There's a vote right now. I'm the deciding vote whether he gets up there or not. And as you know, I'm not going to give it to him. I'm the guy holding up the vote for the shirt to go up in the rafters.
Wow.
But since you're my good friend, okay.
Wow.
It'll be another year. Another year we have to decide.
That hurts.
I know, man.
That's
No, he can play though, Mark. Because listen, honestly, all jokes aside, when I'm on his team, when he's on my team, and we were together, we probably won 80% of our games.
Nice.
But he was like a piano on my back. I had to carry him. It was heavy.
He was like a bag of cement on mine.
Oh my God! I wish we had video of these games, man. Woo!
We should have.
Oh boy, there was some great times. America, Whispers can play though. All jokes aside, he can play.
Our last playoff game though that we ever played for the title, he did yell at a fast break at the very last 30 seconds of the game. Get up to throw it down. So I thought it would be a good idea to put a windmill up.
Oh, Jesus.
And
with about 100 people watching.
And did
Was
you?
your mom there
No,
too?
yeah, my mom, dad.
Yeah,
was
his mom was there. That's why he did it.
Way to go, Whispers.
It didn't turn out well.
No, it didn't.
Oh,
it was a
Off
disaster.
the front of the rim, back to half court.
was
I
a
wiped out
disaster.
under the basket, but it was a hell of an
And
attempt.
I just remember his mom and dad just getting up and walking off and leaving.
Oh, man.
They
The
just
agony
left.
of defeat.
Didn't even get dinner.
No.
Oh, jeez. Go to
His
your room.
dad- his
Go to
dad-
your room, Timmy.
His dad was like, God, he sucks. And just
came here
walked
to
out.
watch this.
I'm like, come on, Grandpa Chuck, don't do him like that, baby.
Hey, you know what else is having fun these days is the LeBron James family, the James gang. If you've been following King James on social media, he was doing an informal workout with his two sons, Bronny and Bryce, and they were throwing down some dunks. They didn't have any problem throwing down some windmills, Whispers.
No.
Yeah, they weren't 32 and looking like
Oh, here we go.
Oh, man. Age is nothing but a number. Just because you're old doesn't mean you're cold. Just because there's snow on the mountaintop doesn't mean there's not a fire in the furnace, Whispers.
Oh, here's that video we're telling you about, seeing LeBron and his kids. That's the youngest one, Bryce, with the two-hand dunk there. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of player he turns out to be because there's been so much attention on Bronny James, who's going to be a senior in high school this year, that people are forgetting he's also got another son who's going to grow up to be a lot taller than Bronny.
Well, the crazy thing about it is just 2 years ago, Bronny was 6'2", and Bryce was like 5'8". And now, 2 years later, Bryce is 6'6", and Bronny's still 6'2". So that's kind of crazy growth spurt. And it looks like Bryce, he's 15 right now, and he's 6'6". So it looks like he's got probably another 2 years of growth. He could reach 6'8" like his dad.
Did any of your sons ever try to challenge you basketball?
Yeah, they always do. They always do. Hey, Simba and Mufasa. I'm Mufasa, they're Simbas.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie though, Mark. My son Garrett, yeah, he's sick about 6'7". Listen, he got me. He got me. It was kind of like when I beat my dad for the first time. I was like 14, and I beat my dad. He didn't talk to me for a week. I kind of did the same thing to my son. I was so mad.
It's a rite of passage for a son.
I was so mad I didn't want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I was so mad, dude. And he was talking trash. He was talking trash the first time he beat me, but he legitimately beat me, man. But I didn't get to go inside. I had to shoot nothing but jumpers.
Right.
I had to play by his rules, and so he beat me. But it's pretty. It's sad when you get beat by your son, but it's cool that he did it.
Got a question on the Twitch. People are wondering about what you think of the Clippers. They're going to get Kawhi Leonard back. They picked up John Wall.
What I tell y'all last week? I told you last week the Clippers are going to be a problem for the Western Conference teams. Everybody keeps talking Golden State. The two teams I would be afraid of, really three teams. You've got the Clippers, you got Memphis, who's going to be a problem, and you got Denver, who's going to go back to being elite Denver. Because now you get Jamal Murray back, who's been gone for 2 years. He's going to come back ready to play. They picked up some other guys out there. They're going to be scary. It's not going to be Golden State thinking they're just going to walk through the West. It's not going to happen at all. And then don't let Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving get traded out somewhere west to kind of, thicken the plot a little bit. But I see the Clippers being, in my opinion, they will be 1 or 2 seed during the regular season.
Yeah, it's interesting. Nobody's talking about the Lakers. Of course, they missed the playoffs last year, and are stuck with that Russell Westbrook contract. He's going to make like $47 million this year. So people are wondering, are they going to be a factor? And LeBron James has a decision right now. As of today, on Thursday, August 4th, LeBron has the option of signing a 2-year extension for $97 million. And the popular theory is he might make the Lakers sweat a little bit and wait to decide whether to sign that extension to make sure they go out and try to improve the roster. What would you do if you were in LeBron's shoes?
I'd do just like the Jordan contract. I just sign 1+1 every year.
Don't get tied down, right?
No, don't get tied down. Because that's what he's kind of doing anyway, because he wants
Putting
to
the
play
heat
with
on
his son.
Yeah.
He wants to play with his son because there's no way in the world Lakers are going to draft Bronny. Bronny's going to get drafted by someone else like Oklahoma City. And then LeBron's going to have to go play for Oklahoma City. I don't think
He probably will, too.
Yeah, he will do it.
Yeah.
But the Lakers have really quietly upgraded their roster and got younger. They just picked up Thomas Bryant from Washington, who's a very good center. They've got Lonnie Walker IV from San Antonio, who's a very good young player. They got Troy Brown that was here with us last year, another 23-year-old. They have gotten younger, and they've gotten more athletic, and they still got LeBron, Anthony Davis, and you still got Russell Westbrook. Now, it's going to be interesting to see. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. Somebody said, "Oh, do you think Derrick Rose would go play with LeBron James in Los Angeles?" And I go, "Why would he? He already did it. He already did that in Cleveland." And you got the same results that you're seeing with Westbrook, because both Russell Westbrook and Derrick Rose have to have the ball in their hands to create and do their magic. Derrick is more a guy that can play off the ball than Russell Westbrook. That's why Russell has been struggling in Los Angeles. And everybody thinks Russell can't play. Oh, he's terrible, da-da-da-da. Well, he's not a shooter. And you're asking him to stand in the corner and let LeBron find him and try to become Kyle Korver. And it's just not going to happen. So Darvin Ham's job is going to be this year is to try to find ways to get Russell Westbrook, especially when LeBron's off the floor, to be the lead guard. And when LeBron is on the floor, get him on the move. Not stationary. Get him cutting to the basket, back screening people, dive cut to the rim. Get him on the move where he's the most dangerous.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Russell Westbrook is on that roster on opening night. He changed agents because his old agent was trying to get him to accept a role as being a defensive guard and pushing the pace, running the lanes and stuff. And he still thinks he's a top 10 player in the league, and that's where the disconnect comes.
Yeah, he's not a top 10 player on that team. But if you put him on a team where this is a guy's average triple-double 3 years in a row. Come on, man. I mean, that's an elite player. I mean, regardless of his shooting, or you average a triple-double, that's impressive. And so you put him on a team, let's say you put him back on a team like Oklahoma City or some young team where he can do what he needs to do. He goes back to being that elite player. But on the Lakers, not as long as LeBron James is running the point and he has to be a two-guard, a scoring guard, it's just not going to happen.
We are standing by, waiting in the Sriracha waiting room. Our Tim Hardaway Sr., he's going to be going into the Basketball Hall of Fame, the Chicago native. He's going to join us next on Give Me the Hot Sauce. But before we go to break, I want to remind you about one of our great sponsors. When it comes to insurance for your auto, home, and business, make sure you contact the king of insurance. That's our good friend, nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. You can find him at jeffvuk.com. That's jeffvuk.com. And Stacey just sampled the drink. Is it okay?
I don't know, man.
Didn't hurt the Golden Pipes?
I don't know, man. The Golden Pipes there might have been some urine. I don't know, man. It doesn't taste like my American. Doesn't taste like my apple cider that I always drink. And I don't know.
It's a cider, all right.
How dry I am.
Nobody knows how dry I am. Nobody knows. Oh yeah, seriously, dude. I don't know if this is my drink. We need to talk.
It's yours.
We need to talk, man. Hey,
the jingle.
Yeah, the jingle. Nationwide is on your side.
Oh, Whispers tried to poison you, and you still came through.
Man,
hey, seriously.
It didn't work.
Might have a delayed effect. We'll find out when Tim Hardaway.
This might be 50-50. This might be 50 apple cider, 50.
That's where you start. Keep moving
Timmy
it up.
Whispers potion.
The king of the crossover, Tim Hardaway, joins us next. Episode 91 of Give Me the Hot Sauce rolls on.
Sick dude, man.
Welcome back. Episode 91 of Give Me the Hot Sauce rolls on. It is now our honor and privilege to welcome in the newly voted in and soon to be inducted Hall of Famer, Chicago native Tim Hardaway Sr. joins us. Tim, thank you so much for hopping on Give Me the Hot Sauce. We all want to send our congratulations, so well deserved. What's it been like for the last few months, accepting congratulations from all your peers and friends around the country?
It's been very exciting, and it's getting more exciting the closer we get to September 10th. And so this is y'all 91 episode, huh?
Yeah,
sure. To you all.
Thank you.
To you all. Y'all must be doing something right.
Yeah, I think we are. Doing.
Man, it's just been ongoing from everybody from Chicago to everybody from the Bay Area, everybody from Miami, Florida. It's just been a tremendous summer.
Talk a little bit about your journey from Chicago to UTEP, and how did you end up at UTEP of all places? Because I got recruited by Don Haskins too, and I was like, I don't know about that. But how did you end up getting there?
Well, Stacey, that's a 3-hour conversation. We don't have to. All right. So, but I will say this. I wanted to come to Oklahoma, but they took Mookie Blaylock.
Wow.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So everybody thought I was short. I wanted to go to Illinois. I wanted to go to Michigan, Iowa. I knew I could play in Division I, but everybody thought I was too short. And Russ Bradford, he's a native Chicagoan. He worked at Texas El Paso, UTEP, and he came to see me play, and he started recruiting me. And he was telling me about Texas El Paso and Texas Western and 1966 team and Nate Archibald and Don Haskins, how he likes small guards, and he loves to play, likes a general, likes the small guard to control his team. And so I did my homework, and at the end of the summer, they was like, we really want you to make a decision so we won't have to go to other guards. And so I made my decision like in October, and I decided to go there because they wanted me. A small college like that, a small college town like that was great for me coming from the city of Chicago, a big city like Chicago, where everything is moving and shaking at 300 miles an hour, and then to get down there where it's snail pace, very, very slow. I needed that in my life. The people down there are great. I call it a well-kept secret. If you want to go down there and just chill out down there, you can. It's hot during the summer, though. It's hot.
Yep.
All right. But other than that, man, the people there are great. The places to eat are great. They treat you with respect. They're not going to be all over you. Can't take a picture, can't get an autograph or anything like that. But they treat you with respect, and they love their city, and they take care of their city, and they take care of the people in their city. But coming out of Chicago, man, I had to fight, man. It was back in the late 70s or 70s and the 80s. It was all about drugs and all about gang banging, man. And you had to fight your way out of places. You had to fight your way to get to school. You had to fight your way off the bus. You had to fight your way on the bus. I mean, you had to run a lot. It was just brutal. And the strong survived. The people that I listened to that helped me out, sometimes protected me, sometimes say, you got to go out there and deal with it on your own. But, I had great parents. I had great friends. I had great teachers. And I tell folks, it takes a village to raise a kid. And it took a village of Chicago, south side of Chicago, to raise me and to steer me in the right direction. I listened. I observed. I understood. I did what it took to get out, and made a difference in my life and in my family's life. So, it was difficult, but hey, man, without, the backing that I got, I wouldn't be in the predicament I am in today.
So you could have run the floor with Stacey King and Harvey Grant. That would have been national championship guaranteed.
Well, you know what? They was right there, but I was a better shooter than Mookie Blaylock. So yeah, it probably would have been.
You know what? Now that I hear this news for the first time,
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed. Because we had a couple of guys that he could have got their scholarship, and that I didn't know.
You're not naming any names,
any names right now. But if we could have got him, we might have won the whole thing.
That's for sure.
Oh man, Tubbs, you need to see Tubbs. Billy Tubbs used to run things across me. He didn't run that across me. Okay.
Well,
so,
but I'm gonna tell you this, Stacey. Tubbs came to see Ben Wilson a couple of times.
Yep.
Him and I forget the black coach name.
Coach Mims. Mike Mims.
Yeah, Mike Mims. They came to see Ben Wilson a couple of times, and I was in that room with them, and it was enjoying. He was Tubbs is a character. He is a character.
Yeah. He would have turned you loose though. He would have turned you loose.
Hey man, I was ready to go.
Man, I see. This is breaking news. I did not know that, because I've known Tim for a long time. If I would have known that, Coach Tubbs, she should have told me about that.
I know.
Oh man, that's
Stacey's
sad.
not going to sleep tonight.
Nah, that might have cost me a national championship right there, bro. Man, but I got 3 rings though, baby. I got them in the NBA, baby. I lied.
Yes, you did get 3 rings. You know, so hey, you got them at a very important stage of your career too. The first 3 stages of your career.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talk a little bit about that team in Golden State. We were talking the other day about you guys having a big 3 before there was ever a big 3. 3 Hall of Famers, 3 guys that could get buckets from anywhere on the floor. You, Mitch Richmond. I played against Mitch Richmond in the Big 8, so I knew what he was all about. And then Chris Mullin, I always grew up being a fan of his. Smart, high basketball IQ. But the way you guys played, like it was, I remember playing against you guys, it's like you couldn't double anybody. It was like, you could get yours at any time. Then all of a sudden, here comes Mitch. He'd go off and get 10 straight. Then, here comes Chris Mullin. He had a couple of threes. And, man, that was an amazing team to not be able to get past, to get past the Western Conference Finals. And we talked about it. I always say it was coaching. That's what I told you the other day. It was coaching.
You know what? At that particular time, it was detrimental to your team to have a coach as GM, because if he was mad at you, he could trade you and mess up the team. And, that's what, Don Nelson did. He made a crucial mistake in trading Mitch Richmond in our 2nd year of playing. And, going into our 3rd year of playing. And that was the end of it. That was the end of it. I think we all know, all 3 of us know, if we would have stayed together for at least 5 or 6 years, give us 6 years and get those pieces around us, we could have made something happen. We could have came out the West at least once.
Yeah.
We was just that good. Mitch and Mully, I mean, the stuff I seen them do, remarkable, day in and day out. The work I seen them put in, day in and day out. How they took care of their bodies, attention to details, just focus all the time, ready to play. We when I came there, I just knew how to get the ball to guys. I was a point guard, but I could score too. I get where I need to go to, because that's what we did in Chicago. You had to score to get to where you need to get to make a play. And not all, you don't have to do it like to score all the time. Just make a play for your teammates. And, I used to get them the ball right on time, shoot the ball, and those things are very important. Back then, the way the game is now, you could pass, cut, move, dribble here, back cut, and this and that. That's the way we played, exactly the same way. And Don Nelson had a vision that this was going to happen, and we was just before our time. And it worked for us. And if you didn't know what you was doing out there, you would get hurt. But we had fun playing with each other. We understood how to play with each other and how to make plays for each other. And we had signals, we got eye signals, head signals. But I mean, we those 2 years was just great. And like you said, for us to be a big 3, I think Michael Jordan had 2 big 3s, with Scotty, and Horace Grant, then with Scotty and Dennis Rodman, and then, we're not going to even talk about Kareem, Magic, and Worthy, So it was a bunch of big 3s, but I just think that, I don't know why we was the first big 3, but it was, it was a lot of big 3s. You can go back to Kareem, Jamal Wilkes, and Magic. What I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, it was a lot of big 3s, but I mean, for them to label us as the first big 3 was is special.
After Golden State, you moved on to Miami, and you had a couple of playoff battles against the Jordan Bulls in '96 and '97. What are your memories of those playoff series? And is MJ as much of a trash talker as we've always heard?
Yes, yes. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. If you don't talk trash, he won't talk trash.
Okay.
If you don't say nothing, he won't say nothing. But as soon as somebody, think they got one up on them, or like, let's go, then he gets to going. Just ask BJ against Charlotte.
Yep.
BJ was talking, he had a good game and all this, but BJ knew what was going to happen the next game.
Same thing with Rex Chapman when we had that short roster and he had that 40. Next time we played him, and I told him, I said, next time we play, he coming at you, and sure did.
Right, you got to understand that, but he was a trash talker, but you just had to know how to talk and what to say, and so you keep him down. I knew what to do, how to do it to keep him down. But it was like it was mutual. You talk trash to me, and you get me going. And if I talk trash to him, I know it'd get him going. So, but yeah, he was a different cat. The team was different. They ran their stuff to perfection, and it's hard when you got to guard Michael Jordan 1-on-1, and you cannot double team him because you leave John Paxson open, you leave B.J. Armstrong open, you leave Steve Kerr open. You leave Craig Hodges open. You can't leave those guys open because they'll kill you. They'll kill you from three. So yeah, I mean, he had the right. The Bulls put Jerry Krause put the right personnel around him for him to do what he needed to do to be unstoppable. Because if you had double team him all the time, then it would have helped, but then sometimes it would have hurt too. But we know what he could do and how he could do it. But it was rough coming home, losing to the Bulls in front of my family.
Talk a little bit about when you got traded to the Miami Heat and your experience down there with Pat Riley. I always tell the Pat Riley stories of all the stuff that he does and how meticulous he is about things, pumping the well and priming it and how hard it is. I mean, you got to be mentally tough to play with Pat Riley. Seriously, you do. Because not everybody can play with Pat Riley.
Not everybody can play for Pat Riley. You got to be mentally tough. From Chicago, I was mentally tough. It's some guys from Chicago and New York that's mentally tough, but when you get to Pat Riley, you're not as mentally tough as you think you are. But he could tear you down. He could tear your confidence down. But you gotta understand what he's talking about. You gotta understand what I tell folks. Don't understand. I mean, don't listen to how he's presenting it to you. A lot of these guys listen to how people are presenting something to you instead of listening to the words that they are trying to tell you and the message and what they're trying to tell you. You're looking at their face. You're looking at how demonstrative they are. You're looking at, if he's being really, mad at you. He's not being mad at you. He's trying to make you understand what you need to do and how to get better as a team. And I grew up with coaches, getting on you, talking bad about you, whatever. So it didn't faze me. I listen to the message and go out there and play. I'm going to still do what I need to do to win, but I'll still understand what you're saying. But, 3-hour practice, 3.5-hour practice, Stacey will tell you an hour of that was talking. Him just talking. Just talking. I mean, he got a piece of paper,
little blue card,
folded up like this with about 10 pages. And it's like stuff on this side, and then stuff on this side, and the back side stuff. And so it's a lot of stuff on that piece of paper that he talks about, and he can't get to a lot of stuff that he wants to talk about because it's practice. But you have to stay in it. You have to stay in it, and you have to understand how to stay in it, and you have to understand that once practice starts. Don't say nothing to him because he's going to stop practice. just let him go ahead and talk and do what you need to do to get out. But once you say, man, it's some BS, or man, F you, or get mad at somebody else or start something, you got to understand that's more time on that clock that you got to stay in there. So and to me, it wasn't hard. It was just regular practice. I mean, most of the time you wasn't even really like banging each other. It's probably about 20 minutes of banging each other, Stacey.
Yeah.
I mean, but other than that, it's more conditioned.
Yeah.
Hey Tim, my son went to University of Michigan, and he was a student when your son played for the national championship. I remember they were up 7 on Louisville. Everyone was going their way. And then that one guy from Louisville, whose name escapes me now, got red hot in the second half. What was it like for you watching your son on the verge of trying to win a national championship, and it slipped away at the end?
Well, first of all, they got cheated. All right. I think that one black referee got Rick Pitino paid him. How you gonna call 2 phantom fouls in the first half against the National Player of the Year? That's one thing. The second thing is he goes up for a block and he meets the guy at the rim, and they up there together. It was a picture perfect block, and you call a foul on Trey Burke again for his 4th foul, which was crazy. But they got cheated. They got cheated, and the guy, I forget the guy's name you're talking about, the white guy that every second half he came out there and he shot the ball well in that whole tournament, every second half. So and they knew that, but they couldn't stop him. But it was fascinating, man. It was fascinating. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it tremendously. My wife, my daughter enjoyed it. We went to every NCAA game, and it was just great, man. And I told my wife, I said, I wish I could change mindset with my son so I go out there and play ball. I wanted the championship more than they did, I think.
Yeah. I feel you on that one. Talk a little bit about watching your son play in the NBA now. I mean, he's had a great career. He shoots the ball.
Dallas looking good too.
Yeah, he can really flat out shoot it. So it's got to be a joy watching him play at the highest level.
Yeah, first of all, it was a bummer when he was hurt, and he wanted to play, and I know he wanted to play, and he always played well against the Golden State Warriors whenever they play at home or they play up there in the Bay Area. So, he was born in the Bay Area, so he loves going back up there and playing against those guys there. But I love just watching him play. It's a joy that comes over me when I'm watching him play in person or at home that I can't describe. It's like I'm smiling the whole time and enjoying watching him go out there and do what I did, play the game to a high level and understand and be a leader out there, talking, pointing, calling out plays and stuff like that. So it's a joy watching him play. It was a struggle while he was trying to get there. His sophomore year, he's like, Dad, I'm coming out. I think he wanted to really test me. He was like, Dad, I'm coming out. I said, no, you're not. He said, yes, I am. I said, no, you're not. He was mad. He's like, you don't like me. You always hating on me and blah, 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 this and that. I said, son, I won't be a dad to you. The dad is supposed to protect you. A parent's supposed to protect you and make you understand when you're ready to do something and when you're not ready to do something. If you come into the NBA, you're going straight to the G League. You're not ready. You're not physically ready. All right. And you're not mentally ready for NBA basketball right now. And then once they went to the championship game, 2 weeks later, he said, Dad, I'm coming out. I said, yes, you are. You ready now? All right. And but at first when he said that he coming out that second time, he said, I understood what you were saying now. And I wasn't ready then, and he was like, but I'm ready now. And I was like, yeah, you're ready now. And he was cool with it.
I'm sure Tim Jr., the entire family, will be making the trip to Springfield, Mass. for your induction on September 10th. You told us before we started that the speech is already done and you're just fine-tuning things. Everybody always says, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to get emotional. What do you think your emotions are going to be like when you walk up to that stage?
That's funny that you said that. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we was together. He's like, what you feel now? I said, you know what? I was thinking the other day, and I was like, oh, it's a month away.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it's a month away now. I'm like, oh, I said, I could start feeling the emotions now, and I don't know. I do know this. I will have a handkerchief or two.
Oh, that's a good one. So, Tim, tell our listeners what you're doing now. I know they would like to know what you're doing. Are you still in the game? So let them know what you're doing right now.
Well, I tell you this. I'm working for one of my the teams that we had battles. We hated each other. We made the '90s basketball really, really tough to play. And we made it exciting too. I'm working as a scout for the New York Knicks, and I'm loving every bit of it. Going to watch these kids play, evaluating talent, and trying to help the Knicks get back to where they was back in the '90s and exciting, and trying to win a championship. So that's one thing. Another thing is Flex. Run TMC. We partnered up with this company called Flex. And they got cards that is crazy. So the card, if you put your phone over in the picture, it could pop up right then and there in your room, at the mall, wherever. And if you pop us three up, we could play basketball, and you can have us playing basketball. It's a new way of the game.
Wow, that's cool.
You could take a picture. Like, you could take a picture with me in real time, or I could take a picture with myself with the card in real time. So it's something that's gonna be unique, and it's coming, and it's out right now. And let's go. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get it for you all.
Yeah, I want to see this.
So, Stacey, you think we should let Whispers ask a question, or you got something today?
This right here.
There it is right there. There's a Flex.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's this right here. So if you go to Flex. I guess flex.com or flexnba.com, but it's called Flexagons, and it just pops up on your phone, and it's real cool, man. That's where we was in the Nationals and Atlantic City this past weekend, and we was doing a lot of stuff there. So we doing that, and I do a lot of ambassador work for the NBA, going to different countries. Doing stuff especially in the Bay Area and in Miami for the NBA and Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat still.
All right, Whispers, here's your shot. I know you've been ready for this question for the better part of the half hour.
Has he been dying to ask me this question?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, if you're ready. So, I saw you were about to light up. Is that a Maduro Robusto cigar there?
Liga Privada. Oh,
nice. I like the humidor in the background, too.
Remember that time when you had a cigar? That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Is that what he wanted to ask me?
Yeah, you wait a half hour, and that's what he came up with.
Yeah, all this time, Tim, that's the question he came up with.
I'm like, where's that lighter? No, but, hey, most people don't know about your movie career. When are we going to get you back working with Billy Crystal or in a movie playing another role again?
Hey, I'm trying, trying, and maybe this Hall of Fame thing will get me back into it, But I'm still trying and get back into the movie business and doing some movies and some cameos. I'm trying. You know what I really want to get on?
What's that?
That we really, really love? Chicago PD.
There we go.
We love watching Chicago PD or Chicago Fire or Chicago Med. Every Wednesday we watching that. So and then of course Power.
I want to get on Power.
I
want to get on Power.
The king.
Yeah, Power that's my show.
They was in Ardell Gardens where I went to high school at. They was doing filming there.
Oh yeah, we had Kris Lofton on about a month ago on the show.
Okay,
because he's from Chicago, so
right.
So yeah, he is a talented guy. What was the question you asking about his toes? You was asking?
I said we're going to go into business together and make rub-on tattoos for women's feet.
Oh, Jesus. This man talking about sucking toes.
No, but he
Sucking
actually liked the
toes.
question. Though.
Yeah, but Chris is
Yeah.
like, Chris said I.
Chris liked the question because he was a freak.
He says, how'd you know that about me? How'd you know I have a foot
He's
thing?
like, how did you know I had a foot fetish? I'm like, I didn't even know you had a foot fetish. He asked that question. I was like shocked.
So is he.
Boy,
So
boy.
you saying I got a foot fetish?
No.
No.
He says a woman who could be a 6, if she has a tattoo on her foot, it automatically makes her 9 or 10.
Yeah, so she's a 6 if she doesn't have a foot tattoo. If she has a foot tattoo, it automatically elevates her to a 9 or 10. So he has a foot fetish. Chris Lofton has a foot fetish.
So even if her toe's not done and she got a tattoo,
That's
it
a
gives
good
her
question.
9.
No, he did say he liked white toenail polish on top of it, and that just makes him an automatic 10 then. That just
Yeah.
icing on the cake.
What we found out, Tim, was there's a bunch of freaks in the world. I didn't know we were going to have them on the podcast, but Christy Lofton, I love you, boy. If you're out there, I know you listen to the show. You're a freak.
Yo,
Sucking on toes.
It's definitely a bunch of freaks out here in this world.
That's for sure.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know where we go from there. I think the best thing we can do is thank our good friend Tim Hardaway Sr. for joining us. Hey, we're going to be with you in spirit in Springfield, Mass. on September 10th. We encourage all the fans to watch the ceremony on NBA TV.
Congratulations,
As one of the
Tim.
greatest players to come out of the city of Chicago, Tim Hardaway takes his place in the Hall of Fame. And say what's up to your son as well, and tell him my son says go blue.
All right, I will do, and I appreciate you all, and y'all keep up the good work. And yes, I'm about to go out here and smoke this nice
light it up.
Nevada number 50.
Oh, 50.
Nice.
See, Tim knows his cigars.
Well
right?
done. I love that humidor in the background, too. That's beautiful.
Yeah, my son got that for me Father's
Nice.
Day.
Oh, that's
Nicely done.
Nice.
You better keep that key out of the lock.
No. See, because I'm the only one that goes in there. I live with my wife and my daughter and my grandbaby. So
There you go.
You're
You're safe.
Yeah, you safe. You safe.
All right.
very safe.
Congratulations, Tim, man. That's a well-deserved honor,
Thanks.
bro. I'll see you
Thank
around
you.
this
Y'all
year,
take
boy.
care.
Yeah, class of 22 Hall of Famer Tim Hardaway Sr., our guest on Gimme the Hot Sauce. More to come after a quick timeout. Episode 91 of Gimme the Hot Sauce rolls on, and we want to thank again Tim Hardaway Sr. What a fantastic guest. And Stacey, I always tell people I'm hanging on for dear life whenever Whispers asks a question, but you actually got a pretty good response today, so good job, Whispers.
Well, thank you. I like to bring out the interest of people, and
The crazy interests of people.
he's a wannabe movie star, but not get into the tattoo business with us, so we're okay.
And you used to sell cigars, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a cigar business, actually. Oh, there's one right behind you there.
Oh, where's it at?
Right
Get it,
there.
Grab it. Show our listeners.
Yeah, tell the story about how you went out of
Oh,
business with the bad packaging.
Sell thousands of these.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah, you used to have a bunch of
I
these
used to
back
have
in
a
the
bunch.
90s.
I used to keep them in my truck.
And what happened that put you out of business?
Mold, because there's only two things pressure packed in the world. That's
Okay.
tennis balls and racquetballs.
And hot sauce. Hot sauce
then,
packer.
then there was cigars. That's the third thing. And hot
He's been a
sauce.
packer his whole life. That guy's been packing things his whole life.
I'm a professional packer.
He is a professional packer.
Hey, since we're showing product, why don't we tell the folks how they can get their hands on some hot sauce? Because people are always asking, how can I get Stacey's signature
Yeah,
hot
go ahead,
sauce?
Tim.
I think this week we should give them the right code, too.
That'd be a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
A bunch of emails. Hey, this code doesn't work.
Oh, no.
Whose fault is that?
The Consumer Complaint Division.
We've been known to throw somebody under the bus.
It's the hot sauce packer.
Is it our only woman on the show?
I don't know who did that.
Oh,
Maddie?
no.
No, it's not her. It's not Maddie, is it?
Not Maddie Ice.
Maddie Ice.
Maddie.
No, that's Maddie Ice,
Yeah.
and that's just plain Maddie.
Yeah.
Plain Maddie.
Plain Maddie.
That didn't sound right.
Vanilla Maddie. She's our producer, ladies and gentlemen. She's our A+ producer. She does a great job, and I am not throwing her under the bus because I don't think she did that.
She's trying to keep the show on the
I
rails,
think it
but
was
that's
Dangerous
impossible.
D again. I'm blaming
Uh-oh.
it's blame Dangerous D today. Today, Thursday. So everything's blaming Dangerous D.
Who's in charge of codes?
Who is?
That would be
You.
me.
All right.
Oh, we're blaming him. Larry the Lobster.
Oh, jeez. So put in Larry the Lobster for 21% off.
All right, get to read, man. Get
on.
back on the trails.
No, you're reading
No,
this.
I'm not reading anything. I'm just going to sleep.
Trying to score the best hot sauce in the game? Well, listen up, because we have a variety of flavors that will bring some spice into your life. That's right. Give me the hot sauce. Well, that's the
Jeez,
best
that
small
sounds
batch
creepy.
you got. I'm trying to wake you
People are
back up.
scared now.
Whether Chicago-style
They
red,
just dropped Twitch. It's a creepy guy.
spicy, sweet King's Q, but not as sweet as it used to be.
Oh, my God.
Or the hottest of the bunch, Chicago Fire. Burn your eyeballs. Stop by, give me the hotsauce.com and use code KING21. Not hot sauce 21, but King21 to get 21% off your first order.
And Stacey, your good friend Tamara Anderson said her mother or grandmother
Yes.
said
Her
some of
mother.
the sauce was
Her
too
mother
hot for
said
her.
it was too hot for her.
Yeah.
But she liked it.
We got all varieties, so, you know.
You know what? Going back to that read we just read right there. This
She didn't like it too.
we just kind of glossed over that, Mark. I know you just glossed over that,
Yeah.
so I'm bringing us right back to it. This might be the last time Whispers reads that particular read.
Promise?
It just sounded really creepy. It's like the guy looking in, you're in your shower and he's looking in the window and he's yelling hot sauce 21. That's him.
Yeah.
No, if I was going to do it creepy, it'd be like Christopher Walken. That's hot sauce 21.
I would rather for you to read that.
that's better, yeah.
That's way better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to score the best hot sauce. All right.
I like that. That sounded way better.
Oh, celebrity impersonators.
Yes,
No, that was good.
That was good. That was better than your regular voice.
You could take that out on the road.
Jeez.
Little banquet circuit.
Oh,
Timmy Whispers.
yeah,
Go,
Timmy was.
go back up to the Poconos.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to hit on a couple of topics before we get out of here. The Bears, 1 week into training camp, people are saying that Justin Fields is looking good. Those who've been out there to observe them in drills, and my prediction is he's going to have a good season. You know, I think they've solidified the offensive line, bringing a couple of veterans in. The receiving core maybe not ideal, but I think that they're going to have better play calling, and I think it's going to showcase what he can do.
Well, you got rid of Nagy. That is
Yeah,
an upgrade.
yeah.
That's
He
an
wasn't
upgrade.
helping him, that's for
You
sure.
bring in an offensive coordinator that has tailored the offense for this kid. So he's going to be much better than he was last year. Any improvement is better than what he was last year. He's running the Red Rocket offense, and Andy Dalton. Now he's got his own offense, and the big thing with them right now is that they've got to stay healthy. They don't really have a lot of depth at the offensive line. If they can stay healthy, give this kid a little time in the pocket, establish a running game to take pressure off of them, because that's what a young quarterback needs. You've got to have a halfway decent running game to keep defenses honest. You can't just put the ball in his hands and say, go win us games, because that's not going to work. Not a second-year quarterback. So a lot of these young quarterbacks, you look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones had success because they had a halfway decent running game in New England. So.
Hey, Whispers, one of our Twitch followers says the hot sauce needs more cowbell.
More cowbell. I got a fever, and this hot sauce is the key.
What about the watching his? What he said about the watch?
I had that chunk of metal in my ass for 5 years. I hit it the one place I could.
Oh, my goodness.
That's Pulp Fiction. When that Pulp Fiction?
Yeah. Pulp Fiction. Little.
That was. You ever saw
cameo.
that side?
Yeah.
That was one of the most. That was one of the best scenes there, man.
One of the
Christopher
greatest.
Walken is like one of the most underrated actors of this generation, man. Just an awesome guy.
Thank you.
Hey, the football season actually starts tonight. The Raiders and the Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game in Canton. Nice to see football back.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. It's kind of been flying under the radar.
Yeah.
Like I asked my driver, Mike, my Windy City driver.
Yeah.
I said, hey, have you heard anything about the Bears? You watching any of the preseason stuff? When does the preseason game starts? He's like, I don't know. He's been watching cricket.
Oh, okay.
Mike, shout out to Mike.
We're not devoting a segment to cricket.
No,
Sorry,
I don't
Mike.
know nothing about cricket.
What's
But I
that?
saw somebody make a great catch the other day in cricket. Somebody hit a ball like it was a home run, and then they knocked it back over the fence, and then jumped back over and catch it. It was awesome.
Okay, which leads us to our baseball conversation. The Major League Baseball trade deadline came and went on Tuesday, and Wilson Contreras, who spent a lot of time hugging guys in the dugout and holding back the tears about leaving Chicago, didn't leave Chicago. Did Jed Hoyer choke and not trying to get something for him? Because he's probably going to leave as a free agent after this year.
Oh, man. The Cubs.
Resign.
Cub fans, I hate to say this, Cub fans. It's going to be another 100 years.
Oh, come on, man.
Sorry, Cub fans. It's going to be another 100 years, man. I mean, look, you just don't gut your team like that. I'm looking at Rizzo and what he's doing for the Yankees the last 2 years. Schwarber's killing. Brian. Brian's
been hurt a lot
He's been
again.
hurt a lot. I understand what they were trying to do, but I mean, you look what Washington did with Soto. Soto's a 23-year-old phenom, and they just traded him for a boatload of prospects.
Yeah. They got good prospects back, but 23-year-old guy is one of the best hitters in the game.
He's 23.
With 2 more years on his contract.
Now, to their defense, he turned down a big contract. But the way they structured the contract was, even though it was like 400 plus, his overall numbers were below the top 5 or 6 guys. So Mac's contract was more, but what he actually makes per year was lower than like Mike Trout and all these other guys, and I think that's the reason why he turned it down. But San Diego's got a nasty roster right now, hitting roster. I don't know how far they're going to get.
Machado and Tatis.
I don't know.
They picked up Josh Hader as a closer.
I don't know how far they're going to go, but they had 40-some thousand people at the game the other night watching them, and San Diego, you get that kind of turnout to a baseball game, that's pretty impressive.
You know, it's interesting. You've seen this in basketball. Trade deadline, the GM can either pick up the squad or kind of submarine them by not making the right moves. Milwaukee traded Josh Hader to San Diego. The teammates weren't happy about it. They just went up to Pittsburgh and lost 3 in a row. I mean, that can really demoralize the team.
That really like knocks the wind out of people's sails. I mean, here's a guy that is your closer that when he's out there on that mound, you're going to win the game. You got a really good chance to win the game. And then it's like, what are we doing here? Like, are we going to blow this up? Are we? I mean, what's the end game here? We give up a number one closer, and closers are hard to find. You can't just go out there and say, "Oh, we can go find another closer." You have to develop that guy.
Yeah, some guys don't have the mentality to do that job.
No, and this kid had it. I mean, this kid brought heat. You give him to San Diego. San Diego now is a much better team than they were before all these trades. You got great hitters. You got a closer now. All you got to do is get to him. That's the biggest problem San Diego's going to have.
Right, pitching, yeah.
Yeah, you got to get to him. You can't. I don't know if they have the pitching to be able to like beat the Dodgers or some other teams.
And the Mets with the 1-2 punch of DeGrom and Scherzer.
Oh man, that's oof.
Playoffs are going to be really interesting. There's a lot of heavyweight teams, and the Yankees really loaded up in the American League. Hey,
I just saw something the other day. Somebody had Tony La Russa. I saw a video. Tony La Russa was asleep on.
That was it before in the first inning. Yeah, his eyes were getting heavy.
But maybe he was sick.
Okay.
Yeah. Who does that? Leave Tony La Russa alone. Tony La Russa's what? 79? How old is he?
78.
78 years old. If he wants to sleep, let him sleep.
Not the dugout though. Come on, during the game.
Leave him alone. It was a cat nap. It was like one of these naps. Like, old people do this. They're watching the TV like Madlock, and then they wake up. Oh,
there's free coffee in the locker room.
Or they're talking to you. Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Let him do it. Let him do it, man. Let him sleep, man. Leave Tony
he should do it in his lounge chair, not in the dugout at Guaranteed.
I'm with you, Tony. I'm with you. I'm not one of these people to bash you, Tony. I'm with Tony La Russa.
Hey, speaking of embarrassing moments, today's an anniversary in baseball. August 4th is the day that Robin Ventura decided to charge the mound on Nolan Ryan. Man. And he got a bunch of noogies for his trouble.
Robin's my dude, man. But he should have known better. he should have known better, man. I mean, man, anybody that wrestles bulls and can take them down by the horns, you definitely don't want to mess with that person, okay? And to run out there on Nolan Ryan, and then first of all, not even be ready to like throw down. Like Nolan Ryan was like, "Don't do this, kid.
Yeah,
you're
gonna regret it."
Yeah, because he got old man strength.
Yeah.
See, that's real, America. That is real. Okay. Old man strength. Okay, so when I was young, and I saw my brothers challenge my dad. Like physically challenge my dad. Not arm wrestle. I'm like physically like, I'm going to beat your butt type of thing. Man, my dad went to the Archie Moore. And left cross, right cross, 2 punches out of there. And I learned it scarred me. It was like scared straight. I was like 13, 14. I was like, memo to self, never challenge your father, ever. If he tells you to do something, you do it. Don't say, why you always make me do this? Don't even say nothing because you don't want to get them big hands and big paws put on you.
That's right.
Thanks for that, Whispers. We appreciate that.
See, his dad could put paws on him too. He's a little dude, but he was strong. Yeah.
Little dude.
He's a little dude, little Santa Claus, little Saint Nick. But Chuck Kelley can put them paws on you.
Don't mess with Santa.
Yeah, he looked like Santa, Mark. Did you ever meet his dad?
No, didn't have the pleasure.
Little Saint Nick.
Santa.
Yeah, man, he had white hair. He had a white beard. He looked just like Santa Claus. But how old was he, Tim, when he passed away?
81.
But he looked like he was 60. Like he was young looking. And he'd come here and we'd sit down here and he'd have, the kegs he's drinking. We'd go to lunch with him. Just hilarious little guy, man. Like, I mean, I told Tim, I say, hey, man, your dad come to the office today? Because I didn't want to come to the office if his dad was here. Screw Tim. I can talk to him on the phone. But if Chuck was here, I would come see him. That's kind of impact that his dad was. It's an awesome dude.
Yeah, it's been a tough year. We lost Tim's dad, and we lost a couple of legends over the weekend. Bill Russell, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, passed away on Sunday. And then the great baseball, football, golf announcer Vin Scully died at the age of 94. And, we throw the word legend around too much, Stacey. Did you ever have the pleasure of meeting Bill Russell?
Yes, I did. Many times. Great guy, great guy to talk to, great personality. Bill Russell's like a museum. There's such a wealth of knowledge of what he's been through, not just as a player, but as a civil rights, leader in sports. I mean, he was one of the guys that, stood up against racism in Boston, which that wasn't a popular thing to do in the 60s. He was against segregation, black players staying here, white players staying. He was one of the guys that were fighting against that. And then, you had Jim Brown, you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. These guys were all in the forefront of the civil rights movement. And these were all superstar players at the time that were not afraid to make a stand. Were not afraid to say, hey, look, we don't care about what we're doing in sports. This is more of an important issue. And so Bill Russell was always out there, and I've always had the utmost respect for him. It's always been a living legend. And he had one of the coolest things about him is that he had one of the coolest laughs.
Oh, the cackle, yeah.
Oh, man, it's like one of the coolest things you ever heard. It's like, but he was an awesome guy, and he'll be sorely missed. And, I mean, when you think of, winners, everybody says MJ. MJ, the greatest player. Bill Russell's the greatest winner.
In any sport.
In any sport.
Yeah.
You're talking 11 rings as a player, as a coach, first African-American coach, led Boston to all these titles. And, he's the greatest winner that we've ever seen.
And while he was winning all those championships, he and his family had to endure unspeakable racial prejudice. They talk about it breaking into his home and smearing feces on the wall. I mean, just to have to deal with that stuff when he was arguably the best player in the league at the time and was bringing championships to their city, and yet he wasn't accepted by a lot of his own fan base.
And he was bitter. He was bitter. I mean, you read some of his books, some of the things that he said, when he's doing interviews, he was bitter about that. And why wouldn't you be? Here's a guy that you're cheering for one moment, and then you're throwing racial slurs at him the next. So in his mind is, wait, how can you cheer for me and not say any racial motivated things when I'm playing and we're winning these titles? But then as soon as I walk out, the arena, now you're calling me the N-word. You're calling me, a monkey and animals and all this, and then you're breaking in my house doing these things. And, it's sad because those guys had to endure so much. When you talk about paving the way and making this game different for the way the game is now, these guys were right out there. They're the forefathers of this. They're the ones who changed the way this game is looked at, the way the players are paid. They don't get enough credit. They really changed the game. Wilt Chamberlain, not just the way the game is played like physically, but the way the players are looked at by owners, ownership now. All the big contracts they're able to get. Those guys were the first guys who, held out and didn't, they didn't get what they wanted, held out. So, I mean, it's awesome to see, these younger players recognize these older players and know their history.
Staying in funeral homes. When he tells that story, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So white players were in hotels and he stayed in a funeral home on the road.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
The stuff they had to endure back in those days is just unbelievable.
Couldn't eat in certain places. Had to go around the back to get their food while the white players were in the diner. I mean, there's so many things that these guys had to endure. I mean, anyone during that time in the civil rights, if you were African American at that time, you had to endure so much hate. And now you look at where we are now. Has it gotten better? Yes, but there's still a long way to improve.
Whispers, do you do a Vin Scully impersonation? That's one of the most distinctive voices in all of sports broadcasting.
Can't nail that one out, but maybe I'll have to work on it.
Thank you.
He had
Don't discredit Vin.
some of the greatest calls of all time. The Kirk Gibson home run in Game 1 of the World Series when the Dodgers beat the Oakland A's. He was on the call when Hank Aaron hit his record-breaking home run in Atlanta. He called the Joe Montana to Dwight Clark touchdown in the NFC Championship game.
20 no-hitters he's called?
He was the broadcaster for the Dodgers both in Brooklyn and Los Angeles for 67 years. He started that run in Brooklyn in his mid-20s where he took over for the legendary Red Barber. The team moved to Los Angeles, and he was, you know what it's like, Stacey, to be associated with the Bulls as you are. I mean, when you think about sports in Southern California, Vin Scully is a name that almost exceeds any athlete who played during that time in Los Angeles.
Yes, I mean, just you talk about iconic presence, voices. Like, you knew it was a big game if he was there. Even if it wasn't a big game, he made it a big game because of the way he carried himself, the way he would call the game. And this is a guy that just didn't do baseball. You're talking about football. He's done everything. And listen. I was telling somebody about this today. These iconic voices. These guys that have been doing this for 60 plus years. They're gone. And it's like, who's the iconic voice now? Who's the guy who's going to be the Vin Scully of this generation?
We got a couple here in Chicago with Adam Amin and Jason Benetti. Jason Benetti now is going to be working for Fox as well as one of their lead guys on college football. And the heights that these guys have reached in their 30s is pretty remarkable. I think in 40, 50 years from now, people will look back at those two and the amazing things that they've done in the world of broadcasting.
Yeah, I have to say, Chicago's is really got some really good talent, really good talent in broadcasting. They always have. And so it's good to see that, Jason Benetti and Adam, who I work with all the time, are starting to get their due, their respect, and nationally. And it's awesome seeing it.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, it's been a crazy week losing two unbelievable legends like Bill Russell and Vin Scully. So let's, before we get out of here, we got a couple of sponsors to, you want to try the Angel Water?
Yeah, go
Whispers?
I think that's Stacey this week. Otherwise, we might not get paid.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, why don't we let a professional do the Angel Water? I'll go ahead and read it this
week.
week.
It's done.
Hey, listen up, Bulls Nation. We want to make water healthier for your home and family, so look no further than our favorite new water here in the Hot Sauce Studios, Angel Water. We always, in between beers, we knock down a bottle of Angel Water. Always good. This company is on a mission to provide water free of the toxins and chemicals that can cause long-term damage to your health. We thank them for providing the Gimme the Hot Sauce team with more than enough H2O to keep us all cool, even though Tim is skimping on the air conditioning here in the Hustle and Flow studio. So stay hydrated all year with water you can trust. Contact our friends at Angel Water. Call 847-382-7800 to get your water tested for free today.
Angel!
And we hope they heard the spot this week.
Yeah, because who read it last week? You did, Tim?
Yeah, and you know what Chief Little Lake said?
Yeah,
What did he say?
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, he didn't hear anything. Maybe you need to get a ladder, buddy.
That's because he turned it off.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah,
We got to put him on auto pay, I think.
Yeah, we might as well get it in advance.
Get that ACH set up.
Oh, is it time for Windy City?
Just about. Why don't you tell the folks about Windy
Yes,
City?
I
You
think
got a
I
good
will.
ride over here today, right?
Yes, my man,
And
Mike
the discount
Amaral.
code.
Oh yeah.
Give them the right code.
Okay, yeah, here we go. America, Windy City Limousine provides championship service. Making a reservation is so easy, it's a slam dunk. Let Windy City break the full court pressure of traffic and get you to your destination in style and on time. Because I'm never late. Contact us at 866-94-WINDY. 866-94-WINDY. And tell them that Tim sent you.
Hey, how come the number you read isn't the same as the one on the graphic?
Listen, I didn't make the graphic. Okay, I'm just like Anchorman. I'm reading what they tell me to read. Who's responsible for this? Okay, some heads are gonna roll. Some heads are gonna roll with the Sriracha team because that's like the third mistake we just seen today.
So people who are listening to the podcast a couple days later are wondering, like, what are these guys talking about?
Yeah.
We do the show live on Twitch, and our production team has done a really nice job of putting together graphics and videos for us. Really upgraded the video look, and we appreciate all their work.
They do an awesome job.
It's just those nasty little details, yeah, man.
Some people
that jump up.
I know who did it. I'm not calling them. I'm not throwing them under the bus. As soon as you brought that up, Mark, they shrunk to the size of tattoo on Fantasy Island. They got short on me. I saw them. It's just like my little dog Brixton. See, when Brixton does something he ain't supposed to be, like the other day, he pooped on the floor. And I walked down the stairs like, who pooped on the floor? And Kobe just looked at me like, if he could have pointed the ball, he would have pointed it. Kobe didn't move. Kobe just stood straight, 10 toes down. He just stood there. And then Brixton walked off around the...
Skulked down.
He got out of there. He got real short and got out of there. So when you said that, who put the wrong number on there? I know who did it. Somebody pulled a Brixton, and I'm not going to throw nobody under the bus because the Sriracha team has done a great job. Yeah, we stick together. Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, Cisco didn't do it. Dangerous D didn't do it. Matty didn't do it. Matty Ice didn't do it. And Nicky Knuckles didn't do it. So I'm not going to throw nobody under the bus. But let me
pretty
say
much
something.
rounded up the whole crew.
We have such a good time here on this show with these kids. You know what? Francisco's always giving me, he's always giving me shit, So I'm like, okay, you don't know how to run you don't know how to do your iPad. You don't know how to do this, right? So we had America. We do a weekly production meeting call every week. We get on Zoom. We say what we're going to do on the show, who the guest is, yada yada. So yesterday, in the little box. So we're in the Zoom
Everybody's
box.
Laughing already.
We're in the Zoom box. I see Francisco. There he is in the back, right there. There he is, right there. See him? Look at him. That's him with the little black hat on. So,
there you go.
So he's in his little box, and I swear it was an episode of Hoarders. I look in his bedroom. He's in his bedroom. Everybody else is in an office somewhere. He's in his bedroom. You can't even move. You can't even do a 360 in his room. There's so much in there. So I had to give it to him yesterday. I had to give it to him. And so today I found out that he called some professional movers over and they cleaned his room.
Is that right?
Yeah, his mother, she said you can't do that.
I thought they called hoarders.
No. I was gonna call them. I wanted them to go see this.
Episode.
A young hoarder. See, normally it's older person, but it's a young hoarder. But see, his mother said, hey, listen, I heard what Stacey said. Yeah, he's right. He's right, honey. You got to
take care of that. Yeah.
I thought it was like cell block 782. He looked like a prisoner. I was like, what the hell? Where's he got a roommate in there? A bunkmate?
Man, you never know who's going to get called out on this show. It's crazy.
Right. That's right.
Hey, we want to really thank all the people who joined us live on Twitch today. That audience is continuing to grow. Woo! We appreciate that there's been more interaction in the Twitch chat.
We love y'all.
And we have results of the poll question in honor of the Hall of Famer Tim Hardaway. He was always well known for his crossover move. They called it the UTEP two-step, one of the best crossovers in the game. We asked you, which NBA guard featured the best crossover move? 61% of you went with Allen Iverson. Of course, everyone shows that famous video, him crossing over MJ, and MJ falling down. Jamal Crawford, the former Bull, was second with 23% of the vote. Tim Hardaway only got 14%. I'm glad Tim's not on. I have to hear that right now. And Isaiah Thomas, so we put in as your fourth option. Of course, Bulls fans hate the Pistons and don't appreciate the Chicago native Isaiah Thomas. He came in with a whopping 2% of the vote.
But
so,
see, Mark,
Allen Iverson, your winner.
Mark, see, that vote shouldn't even gone. But I mean, listen, Allen Iverson was great. That was one moment. One moment. And that was Michael Jordan. You crossed Michael Jordan over and scored. Okay. Tim Hardaway did it every night. Every single night. Jamal Crawford did it every single night. Okay. Isaiah, I wouldn't even consider Isaiah a crossover guy. He's a scorer.
I was going to put Kyrie on there, but I figured I'd stay away from an active player.
Yeah, no, seriously. I would put him on there.
He's got the handles.
I would put Kyrie on there before I would put Allen Iverson, to be honest with you. So I don't know who left that name off. I don't know which one of the Sriracha.
No. I'll take responsibility for that.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to throw anybody in the bus again. We're a family. We are family. I got all my people in me.
Man, all these people denying Matty Ice on the chat keep saying, wasn't me, I didn't do it. Man.
Boy, they're covering their tracks, aren't they?
Jeez.
Where's that Shaggy song?
It was a little bit defensive.
Listen, Matty over there, wasn't me. Matty Ice like, wasn't me.
The other thing he keeps saying is, when is the pizza coming, Whispers?
Oh,
It's here.
The pizza's here? Yeah. Oh, it's time to get off the show, America. We got us some Lou Mountain.
Always having a lot of fun. Episode 91 of Give Me the Hot Sauce. Did we forget anything, Maddie? Did we forget any of our sponsors? No, we thanked everybody.
Everybody.
Tim Hardaway Sr., make sure you check him out September 10th. He'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. We had a lot of fun today. Hope you did too. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And as Stacey always says on the way out,
Angel water soft. When you're thirsty, make sure you drink Angel water, okay? And drive home safely, Chicago. Little cheap plug over there, America.
Oh my goodness! Give me the hot sauce, Bill. Fuck! Give me the hot sauce. What are you doing?